where does the penis go? I built a city skyline, two's largest city, and then I destroyed it. By Martin, I can't pronounce his name. And then I destroyed it. By martincitopants? I don't know. I'm bad at pronouncing. We're watching this, chat, because you guys couldn't vote.
Hello, sir. Hey! Hello again. Welcome to Poopville.
Poopville?
A few weeks ago, the wonderful people over at Paradox Interactive gave me access to an early build of City Skylines 2.
Why do you hate this? We're 2 seconds in!
And then, they put me on a crane. We'll talk about that later. In City Skylines 2, you build cities, construct townships, move people around with mass transit networks, and try your absolute hardest to not murder hundreds of thousands of people with a tsunami of poo.
This is exactly like that other video.
Since this is an early pre-release of the game, only a select few people can actually play it, which gave me a devilish idea. Without too much effort, I can probably make the largest city the game has ever seen. And then, I can commit unspeakable atrocities.
It's funny, guys. This is the second video that we've watched with city skylines and somebody building a ridiculous city and then destroying it.
Upon my glorious creation. So, let us begin. Wanting to start things off properly, I began the game with tutorials. Move with these keys, tilt the camera with these keys, build roads like this. Zoning. And before I knew it, I had built the beginning of a small town.
I love how Let's Gaming Out made everything chaos right from the start. Didn't even do the tutorial, didn't care about making things properly. And this guy, he's actually trying to put effort into it.
Burgeoning with life, ready to take on the future, inhabited by the brightest of a new generation.
A town of bustling opportunities, limitless growth.
Yep. That's, yeah.
It's a penis. Interesting. Okay, let's see where the penis goes.
Unlike the first game,
Chat, where does the penis go?
I had no limit on the amount of terraforming I could do, which meant I could do things like this.
In the garbage, yes!
For this city's road network, I had conceived an incredible solution to traffic. Triangles. This amazing technology makes every single intersection in the city 6 ways. You might think this is very stupid, and it is, but what's even stupider is this type of intersection actually exists in real life.
It does! America's crazy and they have intersections like this.
And where else would it exist than beautiful, sunny Los Angeles? The real intersection is even worse than these ones though, because it doesn't have any traffic lights. Just 6 stop signs.
How? How does one navigate this? Who is it all right away? What if, like, we all go from the right away? Like what? I guarantee there's like a crash at least once a week.
What the fuck? With traffic 100% solved forever, I could move on to more important things, like schools, police stations, water infrastructure, fire stations, and most importantly, somewhere to put all the poo.
Of course. The most important thing, chat, you always have to think about when you're building a city is where does the poop go? Because humans are poop-making machines.
Here.
See, a roundabout would fix that whole entire mess, Lord. A roundabout would fix that whole entire mess. But no, that's too smart. That's too smart for LA. For some reason, North America has an issue with roundabouts. You go to Europe and nothing but roundabouts.
Once the poo had been successfully routed into the Poopcano, it was only a matter of time until it filled. Well, a matter of very long time. I spent about another hour on the city, and by then it had filled to about here.
I love how he put a city into the Poopcano. He just has a city in the Poopcano. You are also a poop-making machine. We are also in an ad, so we will wait until the ad ends before we continue our poopy video. Why would Poopcano be weird? Do you think the word Poopcano is weird? Poopcano is like a normal word. I look it up. It's in the dictionary. All aboard the deck. Fire the poop cannon. See, guys, that's how they should have done. They should have took all the poops from the sailors and made like poop dung balls and shot their enemies with it. They would have left. They would have left. You would have won every single war if wars were won, like fought with poop bullets. Because as soon as the poop got on somebody would have been like, ugh, and walked away. You wouldn't have to kill anybody. There'd be millions saved. Swab the poop deck. We actually filter poop out of our water. You're drinking poopy water, guys. Chemically treated poopy water. No. 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 That is the one time I will kink Shane. Go and sit in a corner. I will kink shame.
Not very high. And that meant it was time to drink. Placing a water pump inside the Poopcano resulted in fresh poo being delivered directly to people's taps, which caused the entire city to either pack up and leave, or die. Well, Poopville.
Why does it suddenly seem like the quality? Why is the quality at... The quality was at 240 for some weird reason.
Was no more.
We need high quality Poopcanos.
And with that, we move on to attempt 2. Gentlemen, welcome to Peniston.
Whoa!
This city went a
Welcome
little
to
better
New York.
than Poopville. A little. This time, I spent a bit longer learning the basic principles of the game, and examined things that had been changed from City Skylines 1. Things like much larger, really nice looking service buildings, like this coal plant. Ooh, or this landfill. I checked out the new zoning, pedestrian-only streets, the grid tool, and of course,
The funny thing is you can totally tell this is an ad for this game, but it's also like hilariously stupid.
radio announcements telling you what's going on in the city.
Because like, it'll never convince me to play this game.
Commercial district is booming.
More radio announcements.
So a housing shortage is bad for the people trying to move here, right?
And my personal favorite,
There's a widespread concern over fears that an insidious underground criminal organization has seized control of the area.
Oh, for sure. It was like the Let's Game It Out video with City Skyliners that was also sponsored. That was really funny. I thought that was hilarious. I have no problem with games sponsoring these videos. It's so funny because you can tell when it's sponsored just purely by the fact that they talk about certain aspects of the game that nobody would care about.
Recent crime stats confirm that the crime wave has certainly gripped our region, and it's showing no signs of letting up.
I don't like the sound of that, Glenda.
We'll be back after this.
fuck! All of this was great. So, I, flattened a bit of land and got to work on the next area. I did a bit of bus stuff, zoned a bunch of housing, built these terrible, awful roads connecting everything, and then people started drinking poo again. Fucking goddamn shit. Attempt 3. Before attempt 3 began, I had a few things to do. Namely, fly all the way to Germany, hang out for a few days, and then get hoisted 50 meters into the air by a crane. Now that we're in position, it was time to begin our
Why? Why?
fabulous new city. When naming this new city, I tried to think of a name that inspired greatness. A name that made me think. Gentlemen, behold, the grand city of... This time, I wasn't going to keep messing around. This time, I would research the ins and outs of city building, and I would construct a wonderful, perfect, flawless utopian city. So first things first.
Is the whole thing that they wanted you to build the city above a city, like you're as if you're in Cityscape and you're their god looming over the city? But like, why? Why?
I did some research. And with that research completed, here are my findings. So, we want to build the largest possible city. A city that has an extremely high population, all buying products, driving their car, and most importantly, pooping out their butt. Well, to get to that point, our new city of couldn't just be a...
I I have still not seen a Skibidi toilet video. If you guys have the best Skibidi toilet video and you want me to react to it, please post it in the Discord. Don't watch it. I'm saying if chat wants me to watch Skibidi toilet, I will watch it for the memes.
Huge grid with
Or for the lore.
nothing but apartment buildings. Believe me, I tried. No one moved in. This city needed to be attractive. People had to actually want to move in. And that substantially complicates things. So, why would a citizen want to move here? Well, maybe they've got a good job, or the amenities are nice. The shops sell cool stuff. The city services are reliable. It's safe. There are dudes that be selling that good Zaza. Plenty of crack. A nice, pleasant location to gamble away my kids' college fund. Hookers
See guys, if you build a crack den, the people will come.
on every street corner. The reasons one might want to live in a city are truly endless. So we have to try to accommodate as many as possible. First and foremost, they need somewhere to live. So let's build some roads, zone them for low-density residential, and wait.
Crack is that good. Obviously, I've never had crack, but you know what I mean. I've heard rumors. I've heard rumors. Disclaimer, please do not do crack. Only idiots do crack. Don't be dumb. Don't be a flat earther.
Hooray! Our first
They got their first citizen!
citizen, the Poo Man. If I wanted the Poo Man to actually stay in this city, I needed to build a few service buildings. A groundwater pump for pumping groundwater. A windmill for milling wind. An industrial sector for people to work at. And then I had to decide on a place to put the poo.
We are all poo men. Deep down inside. Deep down inside, we're all poo men.
Yeah, I'll put it here. Once that was all done, I zoned a few more things, and then just sort of sat back and watched my creation do its magic. I even found
As a situation.
a dog.
A dog!
Bar.
And there we go. Our first milestone. Ooh. This milestone unlocked a few new service buildings. I placed down a medical clinic, a cemetery, an elementary school, a landfill. The
Is it weird that this game would be so much more enjoyable if it was like medieval knights? But I get they have that probably. They have probably that.
city of was definitely making me go With the city now growing quite quickly, came even more unlocks. Roundabouts, fire stations, police stations, higher density housing, specialized industry, and before I knew it, had reached 1,000 population.
Ayo!
Nighttime.
How big is the biggest city in the world? Like, how's the biggest city? How many people live in the biggest city?
Nighttime in this game looks quite nice. Now, the build I was playing on was quite an early one, which meant it came with a few bugs here and there. My favorite of which being gas stations with, rather powerful lights. So, what next? Well, now the city had reached 1,000 population, I had to do something truly awful. I had to start thinking. You see,
He had to use his the biggest city by population, yes.
in the first game, all big cities had one common struggle. Traffic. If I wanted the city to be truly huge, I had to get on top of traffic before it became an issue. So of course, I did some more research. Holy shit. Roads. Roads on the surface may seem simple enough. Get them wrong, and disaster will follow. So, how do you not get them wrong? Well, by following a few basic principles of road networks. First being, roadway hierarchy. You probably all
Plot twist. The best way to make a city is the way cities have been made for years. So he did research. 3.1 million? No. What city in Japan has 37 million? What city in Japan has Tokyo? Really? Wow. That's a lot of people in Tokyo.
already have a vague idea of what this means. Obviously, a highway has a pretty different purpose than the road that goes to your house. The hierarchy goes like this. Highways, then arterial roads, then collectors, and then local roads.
So basically, he needs to have at least 37 million people in the city to be considered a big city.
They don't necessarily need different numbers of lanes or higher speed or really anything distinguishing them. The distinction is more about where they are in the network than what they actually look like. Each step down the hierarchy trades off mobility or how fast you can get from point A to B with access or how many things you can put on that road. Local roads have the
sense.
highest access but lowest mobility, while highways have the highest mobility with the lowest access. Speaking of highways, hey, there's a highway right there.
Oh, look, a highway behind him. It can inspire his new highways. We're learning how to build a city, guys. This is kind of educational. This silly shitpost video became educational.
Yeah. So, back to the city of... We can see that these basic road principles have already been used. This road here is an arterial road. We've got some collectory looking dudes off to the side here, and all our houses are placed nicely along local roads. Next up, another neighborhood. An arterial road up here, and... Wonderful. As our city grew larger, we unlocked even more stuff. This stuff is quite important, since we need to keep our citizens happy so more move in. In order to keep our citizens happy, I had devised a devious plan. Fuck that.
Ow! Ow!
With the city sufficiently, lathered in parks, I could add more stuff. An industrial area here, some mixed-use developments over here, a college here, an experimental pedestrian-only street with shops over here, and before I knew it, 5,000 population. At this point of the game, issues
It's a baby town.
start cropping up, like our cash flow is still negative, or there's a little bit of traffic, or there's a giant forest fire bearing down on the city. Yeah, I'm sure all that's fine. We're going to take the noble path and completely ignore it. You see, in city skylines, road design and layout will only get you so far in fighting traffic. The best way to stop jams is for there to be no cars there in the first place. Gentlemen, it was time to busy ourselves with public transit. At our small scale, we only really have the capacity to add buses. So we'll add some buses. I remember first playing City Skylines 1 and spamming the shit out of buses absolutely everywhere. Doing this resulted in bus lines that look something like this. Now yes, this line does in fact service a lot of people, but if you live here and want to go here, instead of the bus going straight there, it goes here, then around here, and then stops here, and finally arrives here. This system
That's not a very ergonomic bus ride.
is dumb. It's far better to have a bus that just goes from one point to another in the city and then stops in between. With that said, here's my first bus route. It takes people from the apartments to the industrial area and back. Simple. Now, of course, the whole point of doing this is to allow people to get around without using their car. The vast majority of people, when given the choice between a bus and a car, all else equal, will almost always choose a car. This is great if you want your city to look like this, but I don't. So we need to make the bus a viable alternative. We can do this with bus lanes to prioritize bus traffic, or by not providing parking near the destination so they can't drive there. What's more important, however, is that the public transit system
They're just like, we'll just make no parking spots, guys. Is that how we stop people from driving and we get more people doing bus rides and taking trains? Do we just delete all the parking lots?
has layers to it. Public transit isn't just buses. It's also trams, metro, ferries, trains, and even aircraft. All these systems should mesh together to provide a viable alternative to just getting in your car and driving to your destination. The end result? Well, hopefully, not this. With the beginnings of our
Well, yeah, we turn the parking lots into green spaces.
public transit network laid out came rezoning. If I wanted the city to be the largest the game had ever seen, these single-family homes were no good. In their place, I zoned for mixed use, which are just apartment blocks with shops on the bottom. Instead of housing 4 or 5 people, mixed-use developments can house 60 to 80. Of course, I couldn't rezone
Way more efficient, guys. Way more efficient.
everything at once, so I just did it gradually. Bulldozing Grandma's house, only every so often.
It's
With
okay.
more population,
It's okay, guys. It's okay. She died. She died of dysentery.
once again, came more unlocks. This time, we'd unlocked the office space. Why work in a dangerous, hazardous manufacturing job when you can just sit on a computer and slap a keyboard for 8 hours a day? Hey, wait a minute. Offices have a few advantages over industry. The important one being, they don't produce pollution. This means that we can place them wherever we want. They also employ a higher proportion of educated workers. This is good when your city has a high level of education. Mine doesn't, but it's nice to think that maybe someday it will. In the meantime, though, the citizens needed to be put back to work. Oh shit. In particular, we needed more industry. Perhaps like this chemical plant building thing, which
I never said said Skibidi is on the agenda. I never said Skibidi is on the agenda. I said I will eventually watch it. I have so many videos to watch. So many.
Which looks really cool. And what a drink, whatever funny liquid it produces.
Is he gonna drink the pee? He's smoking the pee. I didn't know you can get high on pee. The more you know.
Oh, fuck. In that time I spent doing, whatever it was that I was doing, the city had managed to pass the 15,000 population milestone.
Ooh!
Nice. Oh yeah, and I was, still on the crane. Guys, it's been a long time, guys. Can you please let me down, please, guys? Everything in was going perfectly. The commercial district was...
The commercial district is booming as the
industry was on the rise.
Industry in the region is on the rise, and when this
A housing shortage was driving up prices in the area.
housing shortage is driving up prices in the area.
Oh my god, yes, I get it. Do these radio announcers ever shut the fuck up?
No, Martin, we don't shut up. Martin, time is running out. The citizens demand
The city needs to get bigger.
Martin. The citizens want poo. Martin, the Poopcano is calling.
No, why are you
Martin,
saying this?
the
No, this isn't
Poopcano
right. Stop,
is
please.
calling.
Stop.
Martin,
Stop, please.
Bill,
Please stop.
Bill,
Go away.
Bill,
No, what are you talking about? I like this city. No, please. What are you talking about? No, I don't want to flood with poo. No. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
The Poopcano is coming.
Well, I hit this new milestone.
Yippee!
Built this bridge thing. Yeah.
Oh, sexy.
Martin.
Okay,
It's
well,
so sexy.
maybe we should try a port. You know, because it's got like...
Chat, the voices. They're talking to me. They're talking to me. They're telling me to murder you.
The funny. You know, the funny. You know, the funny water vehicle. You know, the funny.
ferry.
So I made a port. Now the city has shipping
Ooh.
access. Hooray! Okay, how about a train yard and some trains? Alrighty, bam, trains. A stop over here, a stop over here, some tunnels connecting them all. This cool train bridge thing.
Trains.
Nice. How about a metro? Metro stations, tunnels, metro lines. The attractiveness of was truly off the charts. And in the next couple of
Subway
hours of playing, the
train.
population ballooned from 15,000 to 50,000 people.
Let's
This,
go.
once again, unlocked a swath of new high-density
Question is, will we get to 37 million?
buildings. So to cram even more people into my more and more limited space, I zoned a bunch of high-rises. Was well on its way to city glory. But this huge influx did in fact cause a few issues. Namely, traffic.
Oh,
With
y'all.
so many people moving in all
Still so much traffic. Also, look at the bridge. It's San Fran.
at once, car traffic coming into the city was truly huge. So to combat this, I came up with a genius idea. A wonderful, pleasant, beautiful urban highway. Currently, there's only one access point into the city, but with our wonderful new urban highway and this cool bridge, there was now two. Okay, highways are cool and all that, but what's the best way to merge a highway with another road? Gentlemen, it's time to dive into the wonderful world of interchanges.
Interchanges.
You're an urban planner, and you've
So what's really funny is interchanges are quite popular in American highways, but they're not really a thing in Canadian highways often. So in like Canadian highways, sometimes if you get on a road, sometimes you have to go quite far before you can do an interchange. But in America, there's quite a few of them, so it's easy to. But it depends on the city. Depends on the city in America, because when you're driving down to Seattle, at some point, if you miss the turn, you're going all the way out of Seattle, turning around, and going all the way back in.
You've got a problem. You've got this big road going this way and another big road going this way. How do you join them together? Well,
Roundabouts.
with an interchange. There are several to choose from, and they all serve slightly different purposes. Trumpet interchange, three-way directional interchange, single-point urban interchange, cloverleaf, partial cloverleaf, diverging diamond, and everyone's favorite concrete abomination, the stack interchange. Some of these interchanges are meant for moving traffic from one highway to another, like the stack interchange, while others are made for taking traffic off the highway and putting it onto a more accessible road. This is what we want for our new highway, so for this job I chose the diamond interchange. Well, a pretty basic and honestly shit version of one, but a diamond interchange nonetheless. I repeated this basic shit design down the length of our wonderful stretch of road and ended up with this. Once that was done, it was time to build a cool bridge all the way back to the mainland and connect it up to the highway down there. This requires another interchange. Hooray!
All the interchanges.
Hey! For this job, we're using a three-way directional interchange. As the
A
title
three-way?
says, it's three ways, directional, and an interchange. Yeah.
It kind of looks like a uterus.
Anyway, with that placed down, this wonderful new section of highway is open for business. And you know what that means? More expansion. More expansion, of course, meaning huge influxes of new people. In just a few hours, the city managed to go from 50,000 population all the way up to 90,000. Huge swaths of new people making their way into the city via our new highway proved very quickly that the interchanges I had designed
I speak the way I want to speak, and I want to speak the way I want to speak.
were in fact very bad, and I should feel bad about it. Fucking idiot, fucking stupid dumbass. Not to worry though, because one of my intercity trains I had the foresight of building was doing some serious heavy lifting. A couple of them were even full, holding
That was a lot of money. They were getting $36,000 a month.
800 passengers each.
Whoa.
All 800 of which got off at one station, causing this wonderful cascade of bodies to come flooding out, filling the streets like some sort of gelatinous liquid. Beautiful. And with that, more expansion. I built more neighborhoods, and more thousands of people flocked to me. Tram lines, highways, thousands of spaces for new buildings. It was only a matter of time before the population skyrocketed yet again. Yeah, except it didn't. For whatever reason, people had decided enough was enough, and they didn't want to move in anymore. What's
Oh, Poopcano video. We're watching a video about Poopcanos. This is the educational backstory of what a Poopcano is. It's where the Poopcanos came from. It's the origin of the Poopcano-ness.
worse is, for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why. Mousing over the citizen happiness meter revealed that citizens in my city were having a wonderful time.
Okay.
Lots of wealth, reliable city services, and no poo in the drinking water. Yet, this city is just good. So why then was no one moving in? During this whole time of expanding the city, I had assumed that offices are just plain better than industrial areas. You see, offices can be placed anywhere, so I'd just been placing them wherever I pleased. Typically, right next to residential, so people wouldn't have to travel far for work. Unfortunately, there's a limit. At some point, people get sick of their keyboard slapping and need manufacturing jobs. So
People are just like, I don't want to work at an office anymore. I want to work in labor. I mean, that makes sense. You need to give people options so they can switch jobs as many times as they want.
I gave them what they wanted, and holy shit, a nice influx of tens of thousands of people. I passed over 100,000, then over 150. People were literally dying to get to my city. And, predictably, the traffic was really bad. I expanded so much that I'd filled up the barrier island. I expanded down to the mainland, filling it with a huge, expansive suburbia. I built over 100 elementary schools. The population grew still. I built these cool university buildings. The Large Hadron Collider, this needle-looking thing. And the population grew still. International airport, more suburbia, nuclear energy, more industry, trams, trains, more suburbia, highways, skyscrapers, incineration plants, more suburbia, infrastructure of all shapes and sizes. The city grew, and grew, and grew.
It's so big.
And here we are, fellas. 300,000 citizens. I'm pretty confident this is the largest city ever built in City Skylines 2. Now, let me ask you a question. What are 300,000 people good at? Maybe making a lot of money, or using lots of incineration plants, or perhaps producing lots of digital goods. Yes, They are good at all of those things, but they're most good at one thing in particular. They are good at pooping. Gentlemen, I present to you the purpose of this city, what everything has been leading up to.
Poopnado!
I present the Poopcano.
Done. Poopnado. Poopcano. The poopening is happening. It's all in the poop. Do not fear Godzilla. Fear the poop. It has erupted.
In the ensuing Poonami, the entirety of was destroyed. Only one single person remained. The Poo Man.
The Poo Man? How did the
If
Poo
you'd
Man
like to beat my
survive?
record and claim even more lives, pre-order this fantastic game with my link. Goodbye.
Goodbye. The Poopnado has claimed all the lives of the innocents, and now they are in poop hell and poop heaven.